Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. One of the things that I've been dealing with this 740, I guess kind of since I've got it, is the transmission hunting from third to fourth gear, which fourth is considered overdrive. So normally, from what I've been told on the Volvo Speed Facebook page, is there's three issues that is likely. Number one, relay, which Volvo relays have a history of having problems when they get over 10 years old. Number two, the solenoid on the transmission, the overdrive solenoid, gets stuck, starts kicking in and out. And number three, the wiring harness that services that solenoid on the transmission. Well, in my area, we normally don't have wire harness issues because of our climate, but I did check the level in the transmission, which could be the fourth thing. It seems to be fine. So I'm leaning toward the solenoid or the relay. Now, some of the guys say if you get a light in your dash, it's probably the relay. Most of the relays for this vehicle in your 700 series cars is normally in front of the shifter and behind the fuse box. So what you want to do is you want to, and man, it looks like my car came out of park without even putting the brake on, which is not good. But anyway, you pull the shifter back, you lift up on the bottom of the ashtray, it's kind of spring loaded, you pull that in towards you, and then you could see the relays back behind the fuse panel. It's kind of hard to get to them, but you can get to them like that. I like to remove the storage tray above it. Now the storage tray here normally has a little plastic square over there. You grab it with your fingers from the passenger side and work it out towards you. And once you do that, you'll see two screws. One screw here, one screw there. A lot of people don't know that. They muscle this out and they break those screws and receivers. Once those screws is loose, you could work this in where you can have full access to your relays here. For this one here is the one for my overdrive. I pulled it out of this socket here. So I'm going to open this relay and try to see what's going on in there and re-sweat the solders joints and then reinstall it, see if my problem goes away. So if you look at the bottom of the relay, you can see three sides of it has little catches on it that this relay pops into the casing. So I'm going to get a little screwdriver or something like that and pry those three sides out enough to slide the relay apart, take the housing off of it. The bottom side of the relay actually has a little seam there that allowed me to pop that out, and then I pried the two sides out with that small flat tip screwdriver. So now this should slide out of the casing. And there you have it. So that's the inside of the relay. Has the capacitors that look like they're in good shape. These other items in there. And I'm looking for bad solder joints. Normally, if you re-sweat these solder joints, that will cause it to start working. But it looks like I have a couple of burnt spots on this one. So let me look at it a little closer. I don't really see any broken solder joints, but I could put this on a big screen and or take a couple of micro pictures and blow up the pictures. So let me blow up the pictures and see if I can find any problem with solder joints. This one here doesn't look real good. This one here doesn't look real good. This one doesn't look good. That one doesn't look good. So I'm going to grab a little solder and touch those joints and touch the rest of the joints with my soldering iron, because I have my soldering iron there heating up, and then I'll reinstall the relay into the vehicle and see if my problem goes away. When you're dealing with 20-year-old vehicles, it's just not too uncommon, especially in European cars, that you have solder joints go bad. I even have them go bad in computers, that I actually take the computer motherboard and put it in the oven and bake it at 350 for 3 minutes, which re-sweats all the solder on the motherboard. Because the motherboard just has too many joints for you to touch them all with a soldering iron. So let me try to hit these few that look bad with a little extra solder and sweat the rest of them, and hopefully that'll fix my relay. Or you could just spend $30 and get a new relay and see if that fixes your problem. Okay, I added a little solder to a couple of these joints, but what you do is you put it on the joint until you see it start melting it, and if you got a joint that you need to add a little solder to, then you just touch a little extra solder to it. So you see that melted there. When I lift it up, it almost instantly dries or hardens. So you can hit a couple of these joints like that to get them melted, and it's a little hard when you're dealing with these little relays. Like that one just melted and I lifted off and then it hardened. So you want to touch the joints like that, add solder to a couple that look bad, and hopefully your relay will be fixed. Be careful when working with your solder. You want to either put something under your work area, a piece of cardboard or something, and make sure you put your soldering iron on a stand that comes with it, or some kind of metal or ceramic plate, so that it doesn't burn anything. And now I'm going to go ahead and clip this relay back into its casing and try it out. I pressed it in, squeezed it in, and it just snapped right in, and then I snapped that bottom piece in. So if the relay has any more issues, I'll go ahead and post it on the comments below. Now that I've soldered the joints in this relay, I'm going to place it back in here. Make sure it's seated in there. I'm going to put the tray back in the vehicle, hook the ashtray back in, and next time I drive the car, I'll report back if I still have a overdrive problem. Now, one thing I did have a question about is I did get my up arrow occasionally whenever the overdrive or fourth gear wasn't working. My question was, if I remove that relay, will that overdrive just stay out and give me a continuous light on the dash? So I'm going to go ahead and start the car and see if that is the case. So I'm going to put it in neutral, start the car, and see if removing that relay will give me an overdrive light. I'm going to put it in now. I'm going to hit the button off and on to see if it's controlled, because before I couldn't control that overdrive with this button. Okay, the car is running. I'm going to push the button to see if I can hear this relay. Sometimes they say you can feel it, but I'm going to push the button on my shifter and see if my light in my dash lights up or not. I did get a light in my dash and it went off. Before, I didn't have that control. So this relay may be working now. So I'm going to cut the car off, remove the relay, start the car back up, and see if that light on the dash stays lit. I've pulled the relay out. I'm going to start the car back up and see. And I do have a solid overdrive light lit with the relay out. Pushing the button does nothing. So I'm going to shut the car back off, put the relay back in, and see if the light disappears. Okay, the relay's back in. I'm going to start the car back up. And the light is out. My car is starting a little rough. I'm going to change the temp sensor and the idle valve to see if that helps it. Anyway, I'm going to push the button again. And I do have my light back. So I'm kind of confident that I found my problem I'm going to put my hand on the relay, see if I can feel it. I did push the button with my hand on the relay, and I could feel a distinctive click on the relay. So you could also hear it click when I push the button. So that's the relay. I'm going to push the button. You should be able to hear it click. Right now the overdrive is off. The overdrive is back on. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.